Welcome to a rather warm Brands Hatch for the season opener of the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Locost Championship. So the man who's put it on pole for the first race of 2018 is Mark Burton. Now Mark, last year you bought the car at the end of the season just to give it a go, see what you thought, but you're back here with a vengeance and going for the championship.
Yeah, so new to racing, still got the novice badge on the back, so that makes it a little bit sweeter. Bought the car end of last year, did the last 2 rounds, got used to a bit of wheel-to-wheel racing, got used to the car, quite a different car to drive. Came here, know the track quite well from track days and things, so I was fairly confident, but yeah, put it on pole, which is pretty sweet. So it can only go well from there, I think.
Yeah. And you've got a lot of cars around. Where are your eyes going to be in the mirrors? Who's your competition this year?
Definitely these 3 guys to my left here. So Lewis, Jack, and Ian, they're all quick. Ben Powney's quick as well. There's a lot of quick cars in this series. They're all very similar. If you look at the times from qualifying, within a tenth the top 4. So it's all going to be slipstreaming up down to paddock and who can slipstream across the line, I think. Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Anthony. Well, the cars are about to head out onto the circuit to the grid for the first race of the weekend. Here's how they line up. It's Mark Burton and Jack Coveney, row 1, ahead of Louis Wall and Ian Alley. Then Tim Penstone-Smith and Ben Powney from Thomas Gadd and Chris Pike, whilst Tim Neat and Oliver Batten round out the top 10. An oversubscribed grid means that the field have been split into 3 groups, groups A, B and C. Each group races twice and they race against each other group once. So this race is for groups B and C. The next race will be for C and A, and then A and B will go together. So everyone races each other once, and you each get 2 races over the course of the day. Look here at some of the onboards ahead of the start of round number 3 of the championship. Away we go, and it's going to be a bad start there from Tim Penstone-Smith by the looks of it as they rush up towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time, but charging round the outside and into the lead, I think, was Ian Alley there in car number 1. Yes, it was. Alley leads the way. Second place looks like the white car with the fluorescent yellow roll cage. That's Ben Powney, and then everybody else trying to be third. On the inside line, Mark Burton there. The red car does hold on to third, but from pole position, he'll be a little bit disappointed with that. So Alley leads the way. Powney second. Third place for Burton, and then everyone else trying to find a way in line as they drop down into Graham Hill Bend for the first time. 13 minutes plus 1 lap for all of the races this weekend. Looks like that's Ben Powney there, the orange car, who is in 4th position as they stream their way through Surtees. Mark Burton leads the championship, incidentally, after 2 races at Castle Combe to start off the season a few weeks ago. He's got a 10-point lead over the man there with the Union flag liveried car, Tim Penstone-Smith, who has not had a great start. So already it looks as though Tim is going to start slipping down the championship order. On board here with Ben Powney, looking to the outside of Mark Burton for 3rd place there in towards Paddock Hill Bend, but up in front, look at Jack Coveney. He's trying to take the race lead away from Ian Alley, gets a wide line on the way into Paddock Hill Bend, gets the momentum off the corner as they head up the hill. Now that's exactly what Ben Powney did as well, to try and take 3rd place away. How's it going to work out? Well, Coveney takes over the race lead, that's for sure. On board with Tim Penstone-Smith here, a little bit further down the order, as he now tries to work his way back up the field. As he turns his way into Graham Hill Bend, clobbers the curve on the inside. Tim will be frustrated about this. A decent start to the season, 3rd place in race 2 at Castle Combe. First race was only 10th though, and really no one was able to string together all that much consistency over the 2 races held down in Wiltshire. Leaders turn their way out of clearways for the 2nd time though. Coveney leading the way, and Ian Alley now coming under increasing pressure from pole sitter Mark Burton, who pulls out of the slipstream to the outside line across the start-finish line. They're both closing in on Coveney there in the tow. They're going to be 3 abreast in towards Paddock Hill Bend. This could get messy. Burton backs out of it. Alley can't go around the outside of Coveney, and so Jack will hold on to the lead for the time being, but that was a perfect example of the slipstream taking effect there down the start-finish straight here at Brands Hatch. It's not the longest straight in the world, but these cars are designed so as not to be particularly aerodynamic. They're also not that powerful, and that means that any aerodynamic advantage you can get with the slipstream is going to have a real effect down that straight, even a straight of that sort of length. All of these cars run with 1.3 litre Ford engines, and they are not the most powerful things in the world. and that does create close racing, though often the less powerful a racing car is, the closer the racing is that it produces. Back out of clearways we go again, onto the pit straight, and watch for the slipstream again, because Ian Alley, although it doesn't look like he's anywhere near close enough to the race leader, Jack Coveney, coming onto the pit straight, I bet by the time we next see them, they will be back together. Checking in with some of the battling going on a bit further back, that's Tim Penstone-Smith there pulling out of the slipstream. They're going to go 3 abreast again here nearly into paddock. Penstone-Smith had to back out of that one though, and the 65 car there of Tim Neat gains a position at the expense of Oliver Batten. Oliver then is a bit weak on the exit of the corner as well, and so Penstone-Smith trying to get at the inside of him. We're on board with Batten, we're hanging out wide through Druids, but in the end Tim Penstone-Smith wasn't quite able to fill the gap on the inside. Look up front, you can see the leaders are all right back together again. In fact, the whole field, it seems, running nose to tail. Oliver Batten now getting back up the inside of Tim Neat. This is what we love about the Tweeks Yokohama Locost Championship, is that the cars, as we've mentioned, evenly matched, but that means that no one can escape, and even if you make a move stick, it's very hard to pull any sort of a gap over the cars behind. Out through the final corner we go then. Jack Coveney leading the way, with Ian Alley closer than ever this time, though, I'd say, onto the pit straight. And yes, look at that, he's already alongside as they come to the start-finish line. Alley takes the lead before they hit line. Now, that could be crucial, because they'll be thinking about the last lap of the race here. Mark Burton having a look at the inside of Coveney for second. It doesn't quite work, but what that told us there is that if you lead onto the pit straight on the last lap, you may not be in the lead when you cross the start-finish line. So it may well all be about timing this, and it may be that you don't want to be in the lead going on to the final lap of the race, which is counterintuitive, of course, but with racing this close and the slipstream effect that profound, that's often the case. Coveney's back in front now. Look, he went up the inside at Graham Hill Bend, runs a bit wide on the exit though, and so Ian Alley's back up the inside in towards Surtees. Hold your breath, everyone, till they all get through. Alley will take the lead back away from Jack Coveney, so that's 3 lead changes in less than a lap, and there's still another couple of corners to go, and then the run to the line. But look at this, we've got well over 10 cars absolutely as one here as we come out onto the pit straight. Look at that, that's pretty much the whole top dozen cars absolutely together. You can throw a handkerchief over the lot of them. On board with Oliver Batten, we've got Penstone-Smith behind us. That's the 65 car of Tim Neat in front of us, going up the inside, as we are as well now, of Chris Pike in the black number 25 car. Into Paddock Hill Bend they go again, plunge downhill. The car doesn't have that much in the way of grip. They run on treaded tyres, no aerodynamic aids, of course, and so they slide around quite a lot as well, just to add to the challenge of racing in a low-cost race. Back out of Druids they go. Drop down the hill now into Graham Hill Bend. It's Louis Wall there, the black car with the red roll cage, trying to hang on to 5th position. But Jack Coveney, well, this is, well, I was going to say almost a breakaway, but I think by the time we next see them, they'll have had another straight to close back in on each other, and they'll all be back together. There is the Oliver Batten and Tim Neat battle we've been documenting, and Tim Neat now trying to get at the inside of car number 12, Thomas Gadd, and he does. Gadd runs out a bit wide. Batten tries to follow him through clearways, which he does, and that could open the floodgates, I'm afraid, because Tim Penstone-Smith will not be deterred by having 2 wheels on the grass there. He goes through as well. Oliver Batten now is trying to get alongside Tim Neat. That's the outside line into Paddock Hill Bend. Won't necessarily be trying to go around the outside, but instead get the late switch back to the apex, as we've had another lead change. Look, Ian Alley's gone back ahead of Jack Coveney. Coveney looks to the inside into Druids and takes the lead back again. So it is tit-for-tat stuff here at the front of the field, with Jack Coveney back out in front, on board with Mark Burton here in 3rd position, as we plunge down into Graham Hill Bend. Right out wide over the grass, and Ian Alley trying to get himself back alongside there, but in fact leaves the door open for Burton, who sees the chance to get up the inside. There's contact! Oh, and Ian Alley spins out of contention. Let's hope he keeps it out of the wall. He does, but Ian Alley will not be impressed with that. He was going for the race lead. He backed out of that manoeuvre. Burton saw a gap up the inside, which immediately closed, and unfortunately it's Alley who loses out. Burton therefore moves through into 2nd. Ben Powney goes 3rd, and 4th position for Louis Wall there, with 5th place now, remarkably, for Tim Neat, who's just been slowly but surely working his way through the field. The all-white car there in 5th place, number 65, really working forwards nicely, having started 9th on the grid. Up towards Druids, they all fan out, but are there any positional changes? Doesn't look like it. Tim Penstone-Smith also starting to work his way back into this as a result of some other people falling by the wayside. Back into Graham Hill Bend they go. Careful, that was Tim Neat with 2 wheels on the grass. It wasn't a particularly neat execution of Graham Hill Bend. He runs out wide, but I think somehow is able to hang on to the position. to go through Surtees. All of this has allowed Jack Coveney to just build a little bit of a margin. I will now call this a breakaway. Certainly in low-cost terms, this is a breakaway. But if the 3 cars behind him, Burton, Powney and Wall, all start to work together, they, in theory, should be quicker than 1 car on their own, and they might be able to catch back up. Indeed, I think that we're getting a whiff of a slipstream anyway across the start-finish line, and so it could be that within another lap we've got battle joined for the race lead again. In fact, it may be less than a lap, because Burton really gained in the tow there down the pit straight, and he looks to have had a good run through Paddock Hill Bend. Oliver Batten, look, has lost out to Tim Penstone-Smith, so the Union flag car continues its march back to the front. You've also got the number 17 car, Peter Hatfield, in this group as well, just behind Tim Penstone-Smith. Tim now, as he drops down into Graham Hill Bend again, having a little look to the inside of Tim Neat, who doesn't really get that close to the apex, but then Penstone-Smith is very wide on the exit, and so it all sort of balances out in the end. Back down into Surtees. Looking for a way through, and he'll be eager to do this because he can see the leading quartet starting to get smaller and smaller in front of him, and the further away they get, the less chance he's going to have of getting onto the podium. He now has prized the door open. Look at the inside of Tim Neat, who again is not living up to his name, runs a bit wide there through the final corner. Now Penstone-Smith's almost guaranteed to get through. The question is, how many places will Tim Neat lose, because Oliver Batten is also up the inside now, and he's going to follow Penstone-Smith through, and I suspect several others will try to do the same. No, you can see the mirror there that Tim Neat actually found a gap back in line. Oliver Batten, though, gets a good run out of Druids, gets back up the inside, whilst at the front we've got another new leader, and this time it's Mark Burton. So Mark Burton, who started on pole, has now finally worked his way back to the front of the field, further back with 3 abreast, look, between Penstone-Smith, Oliver Batten and Tim Neat, and it settles out in that order with Tim Penstone-Smith through now into 5th place. Back along the Cooper Straight they go, but I'm eager to check in with the race leaders because Mark Burton had the lead last time we saw them up at Druids. Is that still the case though? We're running out of time in this race as well, so he might just have timed this out right, or has he got there too soon? Because we know that the slipstream effect is going to mean that this race will not be decided until the very last corner, more than likely. Out across the line they go, and yes, here comes Coveney. He's back alongside Burton. Ben Powney's going to make it 3 wide to the outside line, though. Ben Powney will have momentum around the outside if he's brave enough to make it stick. No, it's still going to be Burton that leads the way. Coveney will slide back through there into 2nd position. So Burton withstanding the pressure there, but I don't think he was leading at the line. So if he's in the same position on the last lap, he won't win the race. He could even find himself off the podium because Louis Wall is closing back in as well. Then you've got that gap back to Penstone-Smith in 5th. We are getting into the closing stages of this race though, 13 minutes plus 1 lap, and still any one of these 4 drivers could win it, and if they really start falling over each other, don't count out the next group of cars closing back in as well. On board with Powney, we're in 3rd place, Coveney leaving the door open there, temptingly in front of us. He gets the late apex though, and will try and carry some momentum out onto the pit straight, immediately tries to pull to the outside of Mark Burton, that doesn't work. You daren't duck out of line though for fear of the car behind going through as well. Look at that bit of bump drafting, a wave of acknowledgement from Jack Coveney as Ben Powney pushes him through into the race lead. So Coveney gets the lead and Powney in 2nd. That was real teamwork there between drivers who are not teammates, but you do it to try and benefit yourself as well. You saw there that Powney was able to I say lock bumpers, these cars don't have bumpers, but lock the front bodywork of his car onto the rear bodywork of Coveney's car, and the 2 cars pushing each other along the straight are quicker than 1 car on its own, and so that is bump drafting in a perfect example of bump drafting there down the pit straight. And so Coveney takes over the race lead, but for how much longer? Because now Ben Powney is starting to make his presence felt. Don't count out Louis Wall either, running in 4th place. These 4 continue to pull away from, by the looks of it, now Tim Neat, who's back into 5th. Coveney turns his way through the final turn. Look at that, Louis Wall dives up the inside for 3rd against Mark Burton and makes it stick. Nice move made there into clear, as we haven't actually seen that many moves made into that corner. And now Burton latches onto the tail of Louis Wall's car as they come across the start-finish line. There is Tim Neat, he's now 5th. Penstone-Smith is 6th. 7th place is Oliver Batten. But this is all about to change again, surely, because Penstone-Smith goes to the outside of Neat into Paddock Hill Bend. Late on the brakes though is Tim Neat. They both run a bit deep, and watch for Oliver Batten to try and join in as well. He's round here somewhere. You can see just a glimpse of him in the mirrors there, so I think Tim Neat has been able to hold on to this, or has he? Tim Penstone-Smith tries to come back round the outside, but no, Neat it is who will retake 5th position, or hold on to 5th position essentially. Penstone-Smith looking to the inside into Graham Hill Bend, nothing doing there. Back out onto the Cooper Straight they go. You can see the leading 4 really pulling away now. There's a bit of traffic for them to deal with before much longer as well. Through left-hander at Surtees should be flat out in these Locosts. Oliver Batten there in the grey car with the green roll cage. And then number 25 is Chris Pike next in line, as the leaders are about to come through. And look at the traffic that they're going to negotiate now. I think we might possibly be going on to the final lap of the race here, and Ben Powney makes his move. Up the inside he goes. The last lap board is out, and has Ben Powney timed this right? He's up the inside into paddock, but Jack Coveney is going to be looking for the slipstream. They duck and dive inside and outside of the back markers. Powney goes to the outside of the number 41 car there of Keith Malpas. Up the inside went Coveney, but it will be Powney that hangs on. They've just gapped slightly, Burton and Wall now, so it could be down to these two. But is Powney going to be a sitting duck when we get out onto the pit straight? You would imagine that would be the case. Jack Coveney really just needs to sit behind him and wait till we get to the final corner, as long as, of course, the two cars behind don't latch back onto his tail and make life difficult. Through Surtees, this is going to be interesting. Can Ben Powney hang on? He's absolutely honest. The first lap he's led all race, and it could be the money lap. Out of the final corner they go. Coveney's wide, Coveney sideways, that's it, that's done it. Surely Ben Powney will have much more momentum out onto the pit straight, and Ben Powney is going to win race number 1 of the weekend for the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Low-Cost Championship. It is just about Jack Coveney in second, Burton is third, and Louis Wall fourth. Look at the rest of them all streaming through, fighting for the positions outside the top 5, but it's Powney that wins from Coveney, Burton, Wall. Penstone Smith is 5th ahead of Tim Neat 6th, Oliver Batten 7th, Chris Pike 8th, Thomas Gadd 9th, and Jeff Beak in 10th place. Then it's Sean Brahim, Lee McNamara, Ian Alley, dropped all the way down to 13th after that spin, ahead of Glenn Boyer and Clive McKenzie. Outside the top 20, Colin Marshall, Keith Malpas, Trevor Faunch and Lee O'Hara. The only retirement was Richard Jenkins, whilst David Jones, Tom Robinson and David Johns never started the race.
Ben, what a scrap. I didn't think you were going to hold on to it on the last lap.
Yeah, I saw, I think there was a couple of back markers going into paddock, and I could see Jack was close, and I thought I've just got to go now. I knew it was the last lap, I saw the board, and then had to get round one and then dive for the inside. I know what he's like, he'll be there, so it's good fun.
What can we expect for the next race?
Probably more of the same. They're always the same, the low-cost races. They're always entertaining. We've been looking around at other things to do, maybe next year, but there's nothing as exciting as this. And like we've come and watched like the M3s, it looks great, but low-cost is where it's at, I think. You know, it's such good racing, and as you saw, I mean, Josh just told me there was 11 people fighting for the lead, which is superb. So, yeah, really good.
What makes it great as well, there's not a huge amount of power.
Yeah, I think the lack of power probably, and the tyres being standard road tyres essentially, creates a fun racing, especially in these hot conditions, because you can't look after them. So you just have to kind of make the best of the bad situation. But no, great fun.
Well done.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Jack, considering you changed your engine at 2 o'clock this morning, so you had a lack of power all through the race. There's 11 people fighting for first. Second place is pretty good.
I can't complain. I'd have taken that this morning if you'd offered to me, because I turned up for qualifying, not going to be clear if I don't have any power or not. And luckily it was just good enough to sit in the tow, but not much more.
Yeah, it was a great scrap all race. 11 people fighting for the top spot. Did that put you off at all?
Not really. I just saw the main three and just knew I had to get past on all the corners. So into Paddock and Druid, just trying to keep the lead, and then leaves it on the straight and try and get it back on the brakes was what I was trying to do.
Well, for now, go and enjoy it. Well done.
Thank you very much.
I spoke to you before the race. You were slightly apprehensive. You still got a novice sticker on the back of your car.
Yeah.
It does look like it from where I was stood.
Yeah, it was a good race, that was. TSR, they worked against me to slipstream past and pump draft, which is what I said. You know, they'll be slipstreaming. They did that. They got ahead. I didn't have enough laps to get past them. You know, the car was fast in a straight line, so I could stay with them, but just not quite enough, unfortunately.
Do you need more of those back markers?
Yeah, maybe a couple more back markers would have helped. Yeah, it was close. It helped me catch up. On the last lap, I got in the slipstream of these guys. Maybe one more lap. Who knows?
Well, for now, go and enjoy it. Well done.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thank you.